Alright, today we're gonna make chilaquiles. And here is our pile of ingredients right here. And we are gonna use this cast iron skillet. It's actually a deep skillet with a really tight fitting lid, and use a bunch of its own heat to do everything kind of like you would bake it in your oven at home. Yeah, we always start with onions. So this is a fairly large onion cut up and put here in this pot at medium to high heat. And I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to time it for 10 minutes, and we'll come and take a look at it once it's done. So I had the stove on high for 5 minutes, low for 5 minutes, and then I turned it off and I just let everything cook. And this is what I like. Just a little bit of color on the onions, and they're super soft and tender. So this is going to make the bottom layer. The next step is adding chips, and we have this roasted kale, so I'm adding it to use it because it's not super fun to eat. It's kind of messy. Not bad to cook with. And then we'll do some eggs and salsa later. I don't have exact measurements. I'm just going to do it by eyeball. So I'll load this up and let you know how much I think I used. And here's what with the kale. I mostly just did it for a little bit of effect. I don't want it to overwhelm the meal. I broke up I probably counted 30 or 40 chips. So you can still see a little bit. You know, I don't like it to be a solid wall of chips, but you can still see the onions and a little bit of the kale in there. I think it's fun to add just a little bit of Sriracha in there, just for a little extra flavor at the bottom. And then next we'll be scrambling some eggs and mixing them with salsa and pouring them over the whole top and closing the lid for that to cook. I usually do 4 eggs just so we can get 3 servings out of a carton of eggs. And today's variety of salsa is another Winco item. The type of salsa we use varies. I tried this one today. I think it's pretty good. We are super picky about our eggs. We prefer to get them out of a farm, but if not, we get the ones that are organic, and definitely our chickens that got to walk around outside. Salsa, I'm just gonna mix in kind of again to taste, and that's just gonna kind of be a bit of a pour, and then I'll stir it up a little bit. See what it looks like. Okay, so I'd say I used probably about a half of the jar. It was already open, so it's a little bit less than half now. And I added about a half a cup of water because we like to have it nice and salsa-y juicy. And I'm just gonna pour this in. So here's where we are at 10 minutes, and it cooked on low. And I think that's good. I want to add cheese and let that melt too. So we've been using this brand, Lisinati. Trying the rice cheese today. We had been using the almond cheese mozzarella style, and I really like it. It's really good. It melts really well. It tastes good. It's not dairy free, but it has, you know, the first ingredient is the rice base, and then it does have the casein milk protein. But it's, hopefully we like the cheese, the rice too. The almond one is really good. So I'm using about 1/3 of the package on it. I'm gonna put those slices up on top. And then this recipe varies depending on what we have in the van. Today we had 2 very ripe avocados, so they'll be going on the top. I squeezed some lime on them. So I'm gonna put the cheese on and melt that. Okay, gonna let this stuff melt, and then we'll throw the avocado on top. Sort of having an oven to get the top a little bit browner looking, a little crispy. I think that's looking mighty tasty. Breakfast is ready.